Hello, myself Sunil Ramkrishna here. Basically, we are discussing another topic, that is city creation. In city creation, basically, we are discussing another topic, that is the future creation, basically, which basically we have already discussed. Basically, that if any chief minister basically is becoming the chief minister, basically, he should have the certification like he basically counted 100 plane crash basically in Himalaya, and he basically told that basically plane was basically hit in this time also basically. They will check and they will verify that basically yes basically he has told correct basically. Like this basically gets the chief minister closed basically. So you can just imagine one of the person told that yeah basically which world basically we are staying basically. There is no value of human basically. Then one of the person told that basically you are basically Sunil not getting the job no basically. That is not a big issue basically in this world basically. See basically hundred plane basically are getting crashed in the Himalaya. Few incidents basically we'll see basically. In the world basically which kind of incidents basically is happening. Himalaya, Mount Everest basically is getting crashed basically. Lots of plane basically are getting crashed. Then basically in Makkah Medina basically more than 500 people basically dies daily. So these all are basically what actually basically. These all are what actually what basically. Then one of the person told that basically few people says that basically it's a kurbani basically. By killing the people basically that is called as a kurbani basically. That is basically given the name as kurbani. So few people basically told that plane basically which is getting crashed in the Himalaya and Mount Everest basically, that is also given name of the kurbani. So in the name of kurbani basically you will be killing the each and every people basically. In the name of kurbani basically you are going to finish the each and every people basically. And like this basically you are telling that basically this is a kurbani. God basically says that basically no basically we never told that basically we want kurbani. God basically told that basically we basically don't know basically that whether we want any kurbani basically. That's basically your business basically. That's basically connected to your business basically. Each and every place basically you have created as a business basically. One person told that basically in Mumbai basically, if anybody visits the Mumbra Devi temple basically, then he basically gets the place basically in Mumbai. The people who don't visit the Mumbra Devi temple basically, they never basically gets the place in Mumbai basically. So one of the person told that Sunil Nair basically you visited the Mumbra Devi temple. Then Sunil told that basically no basically I not visited the Mumbra Devi. So you have not got the house basically in Mumbai basically to stay. Then one of the person told that yes basically. That means each and every people basically which kind of mentality basically having basically. This is actually you can say basically Mumbra Devi is a god basically. But they have created the system basically that if you will visit the Mumbra Devi, then you will that also basically few people basically say that basically that also system basically lots of people says that basically after corona basically that also basically has changed. Why basically the next generation of Mumbra Devi temple basically trust basically might have joined, and they basically might have changed this decision. Why basically they have to give the house na basically. It's their responsibility. So they have to give the house. So one of the person told that basically the people who not got the house basically, right? Basically, assuming that basically few people not got the house, like me basically, I basically came back to Vadodara city. Suddenly, actually, something basically happened in Mumbai city that basically finished the 70 percentage of house basically in Mumbai basically. So who will be responsible for this basically? Then one of the person told that who created the Mumbra Devi system basically, or basically the government, or basically the human resource department basically of the Hindustan. Or basically we will don't take the entire Hindustan basically, we will take Mumbai city only basically. So this Mumbai human resource will be responsible, or basically the Mumbra Devi temple basically system group basically will be responsible, or basically the government will be responsible. Assume that basically that happened basically. Assume that basically this has not happened basically. Assume that basically happened basically. Somebody basically saw basically Sunil Narnair is crying basically. He basically crashed the entire 70 percentage of Mumbai basically, and 70 percentage Mumbai basically finished. Assume basically. Assume basically. So who will be responsible basically? One of the person asked the question basically. Then he told that in that basically case, the few people says that basically government will be responsible. Few people says that human resource and the software company basically who are staying in the Mumbai basically still staying, they will be responsible. That is the company owner, each and every staff, each and every human resource department, they will be responsible. Few people says that basically Mumbra Devi temple system group basically responsible who are handling the system basically, that if anybody is visiting this Mumbra Devi temple basically, then he is going to get the job and house. Other people is not going to it, and that basically 70%, and that after a certain time basically 70% is Mumbai basically ended. Big time buildings basically gone down, and then basically the buildings basically ended basically. So he told that basically who will be responsible for this? Then few people told that basically government, few people told that the Mumra Devi temple system basically, and few people told that basically government basically, and few people told that basically uh, the businessman. Few people basically told that businessman also, and few people told that basically it's the human resource department basically, who basically say that basically we are not giving uh, job to this particular person basically. So you can just imagine basically. So this type of thing basically is going to happen basically. Assume that basically happened. Assume that basically we will take one example basically. Just a minute. In incidents of the basically we are going to write this basically. Assume that basically this assume that basically it happened. 70% of Mumbai buildings ended. So who will be responsible for this? Government, human resource, businessman, or basically the Mumbra Devi temple, Mumbra Devi temple trustee group. Who will be responsible for it? Who will be responsible? Because this is basically connected to the disease basically. That's why. So one of the person told that basically that's very dangerous topic basically, because it might possible that one of the group is basically trying to solve the disease of corona, and basically disease basically is never getting basically end basically, because they don't have the condition only basically. Then how basically it's going to end basically? How basically it's going to, in that basically in between basically 70% Mumbai also basically got ended basically. Just taking as an example basically. In really basically this has not happened basically. Just example basically. So what is basically who will be responsible basically? Government, HR, businessman, or Mumra Devi temple trust group. That we are going to see in next video. That is basically the next video basically, which is going to see that which group basically will be responsible and how basically things are connected with each other basically. That is this whole thing basically. So in next video basically we are going to see that.